I'm Alex Blood. I'm primarily an artist, but I'm also a producer, workshop tutor, creative practitioner, community worker, a bit of everything, but primarily an artist. My path started out with me just basically enjoying music and doing it outside of school, and it always been a hobby, and just never really wanting to let that hobby go, and going through the whole thing of people saying, right, you know, you've got to get a job now, you've got to do this, and feeling like I'm a lazy or a dropout because all I really want to do is music, but not really giving it up, having been a bit stubborn really, and thinking, you know, I don't care what people say, I'm always going to write raps even if it means I'm broke. So I spent a lot of years doing music and being really broke. So that's one thing. If anyone's trying to get into music, you've got to be prepared to be a bit spent, to be broke for some time, because it's a short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. So my path in was just like that really, and eventually people in the area who were doing the same things, like Baby J or Ruckus, who were a bit further on, a bit older than me, they could see that I was constantly there. I was at all the events, I was doing it, I was making sure I was known, I was constantly putting out material locally, and because I was serious about it, that was it. And then obviously I did actually go to uni in the end, because I didn't want to go to uni and do IT or nothing else like that. So I went to uni and did a bit of computing with music, so it was like music production and music computers. That just gave me the technical background that I needed really, but the qualification doesn't offer you too much for a career, it's just getting the knowledge. So with that knowledge that I got from there and the experience just putting out my own music and then linking with people older than me, that was my route in, do you know what I mean? So they saw I was a bit younger than them and I was serious, and gave me a break. In my era, being a young white MC was a barrier, do you know what I mean? I would be standing out like a sore thumb and people would not always give me a chance, but that's changing a lot now. The youngsters now, everyone's in there for everything, so that's not really a barrier so much anymore. And the main barrier as far as industry actually breaking out there was being not from London, do you know what I mean? To get into the London scene, I had to be relevant not only in Derby but in the region, in the Midlands and beyond that, and into other cities, and then eventually London would start paying attention. Whereas if you're in London, you can just be relevant in London and people think you are relevant, but no one outside of London can have heard of you. So it's a barrier like that. You've got to be travelling down to London to make yourself known, you've got to be in them places. So it's extra legwork from being outside of London. The solutions really was just be about my business and be about my game, so basically making sure that I was constantly pushing forward and trying to elevate and improve what I was doing. So when I was going to certain battles or certain events, I was standing out because of my talent more than anything else. That was the one thing that I had to keep pushing for, and that's the one thing as well that's pushed me outside with the whole barrier with London. Like I said, I've gone out there and I've shown the people in London and the industry in London that I'm not from London, but I have a talent that is equal to anyone else who's doing anything. So I'm trying to just basically prove the point that location is not going to hold you back. The best part about my job is that, generally speaking, I make a living out of music, and for me that was something that I never imagined was possible really, unless I actually got signed by Michael Jackson or Sony or somebody and was just massive, do you know what I mean? I don't know, when I was a kid that was what I wanted to do, do you know what I mean? And that was the only answer. Like when I was young, it was like, right, and all to my family as well, to all my teachers and stuff, the answer was like, unless you are Robbie Williams, how are you going to make a living out of music? It's a waste of time, don't bother, But I found out through not giving up that you don't have to be Robbie Williams and you can have a comfortable life off music, so that's the best part of it for me. My day-to-day schedule, generally, like at the minute, is I'm up at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm at studio for 10. We do classes and workshops 10 till 3, so I'm working with young people 10 till 3. After 3 o'clock, I'm in the studio doing my own stuff, working on my own music, or I'm going packaging up CDs to mail out, or I'm at home grafting on the internet, pushing myself promotion-wise. So, and that happens basically 5 days a week, and then it could be a show at the other end of the country till 3, 4 in the morning, then back and in the studio for 10 o'clock. So it's hard work, and it's not a shift pattern. Do you know what I mean? I can be up out my bed at 8:30, and I'm not getting back in it till 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up again. Do you know what I mean? And some of that work is directly paid for, some of it's not, some of it I don't get paid for, but obviously it's all adding to the fact that I've got a name and a brand and a reputation to uphold it, get that over the time, and in the future will bring me more work. So apart from the teaching stuff, which is every day, it can be anything. Like I said, I can be doing anything, but I don't like to just go home and chill. I can't, because of the fact that where I've got to where I am now and how I've had to work to get here, I can't really rest. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will say the same, like if you speak to Jay and people like that. I can't really just go home and kick back on the sofa for 2 hours because I'm scratching my head and I'm thinking, right, I need to do something, because I'm in that frame of mind, and it's that frame of mind that gets you there, gets you where you want to be, you know what I mean? I would say if anyone's trying to do my job or trying to get into like the line of work that we're in, focus on your talent first and foremost, because without talent you've got nothing, you know what I mean? Secondly, make sure you network as much as possible. Find out who in your city is doing what, who is making real moves in your city. There's a lot of people doing stuff, but it's who the people that are making moves outside of your city. So if there's a little crew of people or there's a little business in your city working in music, and they're known and they're involved in certain things, they're involved in the arts, they're involved in the community, they're also involved in actual music, find out who them people are, get known to them, let them know your stuff, let them know that you're doing things. Because even now, like, there's young people that we work with that have got talent that we're watching out, we're keeping an eye on. When they get to a certain age and they've shown that they're staying on the straight path, we'll give them a job, we'll give them a break, you know what I mean? So make sure the people in your city that are making moves know about you, and you know what I mean, keep networking with people, and try and get out of your city as much as possible, you know what I mean, and network with other people. It's all about who you know, and that's like one thing that's said to you when you first get into the industry, it's who you know, it's not what you know. That is like 95% true in my experience, it's who you know. In the next 10 years, I see the music industry getting bigger over here. Like, there's a lot of things going off at the minute, a lot of things changing, but at the minute people are latching into like, where are the income streams, where is the revenue for artists and musicians and producers, and it's not necessarily in CD sales. So in the next 10 years, I see a lot of things going on with TV syncing, you know, endorsements from corporations. That's a big thing for artists in the future. Digital, the world of digital is gonna be the music industry. So get onto it from now. Do you know what I mean? It's not like that now, but 5 years time, 10 years time, there's not gonna be CDs. It is gonna be all online. So get on it from now. Make sure you've got your internet, your MySpace. You're constantly working the internet from now, because that's where it's gonna go in my eyes. And live music-wise, for anyone in urban music or MCing and things like that, I would say get involved with live musicians, because clubs are shutting down on hip hop nights, and people are starting to not really want to see just a man with a mic shouting over a club system. They want to, if they're going to see music, live music is the way it's going. And up until now, live music has just been rock and indie bands, but UK black music and urban music is starting to find its feet and get a reputation for providing good live music with musicians and singers, and that's getting us into different venues. It's getting us into more high class venues and playing to different crowds. So don't think just because you do grime or hip hop that you just have to be in the studio working on beats. Get with a guitar player, you know what I mean? Find a guitar player, find a drummer, jam with them, and figure out what you can do, because that's another thing. The music is diversifying, and I think just by very sort of like population alone, if you're making black music in England, you need to cross over if you want to make money out of it. Like, you know what I mean? You need to cross over to appeal to different audiences, because there's not enough purely like people who are buying hip hop and UK R&B and things like that to make you money. Like, you can do that and just sell to that market, but there's physically not enough of them people to make you enough money. So don't be afraid of crossing over, and as long as you're doing it well and you're doing it with integrity, then it's more power to you, do you know what I mean? So yeah, futures is digital, it's diversifying, and it's live music.